Yo, yo. Yo, yo. Can you all hear me okay? We got Oregon, Mo, Nova, J. Coldes on the house. What's up, guys? How's everyone doing? I'll try to wrap this up quickly. This is gonna be an in-depth, but still rather to the point guide on how to deal with Mileena. Can you all hear me okay? Sub Nova, chilling. I hear you. Thank you, man. Thank you for confirming. I appreciate it. All right. So on that note, just starting over with Mileena. Um, this is gonna be the first installment of of a series I'll be doing called Projects Tea House, where I will be talking to some of the top players for certain characters, evaluating each move set, and coming up with what are the best moves of that character, what is the single-handedly best move for that character as well, undoubtedly, if we can, and also you as the opponent, how can you deal with that character? And this is done in hopes to bring closure between knowledge gaps between some of our players. And so ultimately, what we're gonna try to do is make this probably a weekly installment. Next week, I'm aiming for that to be Garrus. I've gathered some intel from Gur. Shout outs to Gur. I gotta talk to Buster, so I can't wait to get some of this information and get this series out for you guys. But today is all about Mileena. Mileena, at a glance, is people think she is a mixed character. She is not. She is far from a mixed character, although she can mix just very much like anybody else goes. Thank you, Buster. Yes, it is. Project Tea House is amazing. It is my stage. It is the stage where I tend to do the best, and it's my favorite stage. It's where Madame Bo is at. It's where she can toss bricks your way. So, Project Tea House, it is, brother. I appreciate the support. So, Mileena, she is not a mixed character. She is a bait and punish character at the core. In fact, she is such a bait and punish character that most players and characters and matchups are conditioned before the match even begin. Oftentimes, you're about to start a fight with Mileena and you're already ready to chase her down, and you're also afraid of this move, Ball Roll. Probably the best punishing tool in the game right now. It is a 12 frame mid that is going to allow her to get out of many things, is going to allow her to whiff punish, and when she does, the biggest part is she gets a big reward any single time that she hits you with a Ball Roll. And she can consistently get it too. 30% for a just random move that's gonna punish you at every stage of the game. You gotta be afraid of that. So thereby, you are going to be conditioned to not want to get hit by this move. And because of the threat of Ball Roll, you are now waiting for so many other things to happen, right? I can always backdash and come forward, stand one, down four. I also can get to you at any point with my many moves, whether it's air Ball Roll, up teleport, down teleport. In fact, we're gonna watch a couple of videos of different matchup knowledge tidbits of how Mileena can get you anywhere in the screen. This is again solidifying she is a bait and punish character. And so I have a couple of videos I took earlier today, just 6 videos. Here we have Sub-Zero doing down one ice clone. Oh, and this is not gonna go into my videos. That's unfortunate. Anyway, so going into the character select screen, I will try to do my best to remember some of those, but Gareth Sandpillar, and Buster can confirm, Mileena's going to be able to punish it. Can she, if he does his dropping karma zoning move, she can up block it and up kick, punish it. Scorpion Sphere, any iteration, whether meter burn or not, is going to be a free ball roll punish. Ice Clone, unblocked from any screen, is going to be a downwards teleport punish. Oregon, I see you. Sia, I see you. This might be your second main, bro. She is gonna be able to punish most of those things that Nitara, and this is a conversation you and I are going to have, and I'll answer some of those matchup specific questions in a moment. But yes, she might be a great option because some of those demons that Nitara deals with, she deals with. Oftentimes, Kitana Family Lift cameo is used for shenanigans to keep people safe. That does not work with Mileena. She will hunt you down every single time. Things like more obscure things like let me show you this. I think this one is one of those that I gotta show you so that you can see it. Actually, let me go for maybe Scorpion, right? So Scorpion into Serena. Yeah, I'll do that.
Serena, Tomb of the Dragon.
At this point, I'm just trying to show you some of these things, and these are obscure knowledge that you should know as either a Scorpion player, Serena player, Smoke, whichever one. Mileena is going to punish you if you use Serena's back cameo. And so I'm just going to do it and just going to hold block. And I want to go either full screen or up close. This is crazy that this works up close. If you haven't seen it yet, I can do this. That was an up kick. EX up kick. Punish mid-gap on Serena. And it's not strict timing. I'm just old. There you go. Anytime you do Serena at any point of the stage, so let me go full screen too so that you can see it. There we go. Oops. My goodness. There we go. So you do Serena and you eat probably 37%. And the same thing is going to happen with a lot of the cast. Basically, I have three options to get to you. Ball roll, up ball, and down ball. She has quite a few safe jumps. But you do have to sacrifice damage for safe jumps, Oregon, and I will show those in a moment. But just going into some of these characters, she can punish Takeda, she can punish Sector, she can punish Cyrax net with a teleport, she can punish Cybot. Her size, of course, although they're short range, they all be Reiko, and then the low side is going to go over Reiko's stars because yes, she ducks, so why not? She's able to do that kind of thing. Let's see what else she can beat. Of course, can she? This is just great too. I'm gonna show you Quan Chi actually. Quan Chi.
Serena. The flesh pit.
Again, Mileena is this character that you have to be aware at a higher level she's gonna punish you for some of these things. So if I have Quan Chi, I can do, what is his boot? Is it, wait. What's his boot move again? Oh wait, I'm not even using Quan Chi right now. He's just repeating the thing. There we go. Can someone tell me what Quan Chi's boot move is, or I'm gonna have to find it? Hold on. Oh, there we go. This right here. That right here. So up kick is the slowest one. On startup, it's like 20 something, 30 something, 31. Down kick is what you have to worry about. It's 22. And I will show you why you have to worry about down kick in a moment. 31 frames is, well, half a second. It's not going to come into play until you do something like this, and I'm gonna try to block right after. Now notice, Quan Chi's regular kick is -12, but if you up block it, it is -37, which means that at that point you can literally just punish this with up kick. So Quan Chi doesn't get to do overhead for free for full spin, not against Mileena. And now she's gonna have other characters. Let's see. So she's gonna be able to do. I just want to take this off and then switch over to Lao, Mileena Lao, which is what we see, or Mileena, even Mileena Tremor is good. Because you're always going to have to be worried about a 22 frame teleport that you can do in the air, you can do on the ground, and that is going to go into a full combo. So, oops, there we go. Now it's crystalline. There we go. And the crazy part is the damage itself is consistent within the 30s to 40 depending on what character you're using. Like from teleport into Tremor, I can get probably like 40% easy. Oops. Rain Portal is 60 frame. That gives you half a second to upkick on reaction. Yes, he does. Yes, he does. Let's see. What kind of damage can I get from here? Oops. Even if I end on the unoptimal forward 4, that will still be a pretty good amount of damage. There we go. There we go. Oh no, I dropped it. Does Tremel gel unblock after teleport, or can you armor? That is a good question, and we are going to cover it on a section. I just wanted to show off the damage she gets consistently. She's definitely going to get over 40% anytime she hits you. And that's, to answer your question, Oregon, you can get a safe jump after the air ball roll, like that. And you can also get a safe jump after 3-2. Now, sometimes you have to do it, most times you will sit in the corner because you don't want to sacrifice that much damage for this. But yeah, 3-2 and also air ball roll are her safe jump. Anyway, so going into the actual basis of Mileena, I just wanted to showcase she is a bait and punish character, and that understanding that is so important, you guys. She is not a mix-up character. She thrives on you being able to make your mistake, and so that's why she's going to back up and wait for you to press a button so she can use the best with punishing moves, that is ball roll, and make you suffer for it. She is going to. So as your opponent, understanding that it is going to be a sufferable matchup and you gotta be patient is crucial. Throwing projectiles is not gonna cut it. Trying to throw buttons and string out is not going to cut it. She does not mix you. She either micro changes her timing, so using micro timed normals to be able to get you to press something and then hit you with a really good mid, or she's gonna bait and punish you for really good damage consistently. That's the key part. She's gonna hit you consistently for a lot of damage. Alright, so going into her buttons and normals. She's had some of the best pokes on the game. She has standing 1, which is 7 frame, reaches really far. She has standing 2, with 10 frames, reaches slightly farther, and it confirms into standing 2-1 into upkick for a lot of damage. She has down 4, it's a 10 frame low that hits you for 15 frame advantage. Now she has a 19 frame overhead. So go figure, you can't jump out of this. If you get hit with a low, you're going to have to guess, is she going to go another low, or is she going to go finally for an overhead? Or is she going to gel into stand 1, 2, and whatever else? So keep this in mind. Her low, her down 4 is going to open the opportunity to so many doors. So it is crucial that you keep that in mind. Onto her string, she has some of the best strings in the game. She has 1, 2, which is a hit confirmable high that goes into an overhead into mid. Now, at a higher level, you're gonna see people flawless blocking the third hit. Her options are not real most of the time. You flawless block. She can take a risk and go into side, which is punishable, and it does have a gap. You can interrupt that gap. So if I do something like, let me set this to block all and then flawless, I'm gonna whip the the third hit. So on that third hit, if I make him go 10-1, right? And then go reversal mode. There we go. Oh, he's not gonna stand 1 after flawless block? That's unfortunate. Will he do it after a normal block? Oh, I recorded it on the regular section. There we go. Perfect. And we're gonna go flawless block. There we go. So if I do this, he's gonna be able to, well, maybe not standing 1. How many frames is Quan Chi standing 1? It doesn't matter. But the point is, if she just does this, you're gonna be able to punish her. Now, most of the time, a Mileena player is going to react on whether or not stand 1 to hit. So your job is to 1, get out of standing 1 range, and 2, try to mix up getting the flawless block out of there. If I see as the Mileena player that standing 1 didn't hit, I'm likely not going to cancel into anything, because by itself, if you don't flawless block, the third hit is only -5. If you do flawless block the third hit, which you should always aim to do, this is not going to let me talk. There we go. It is going to be -15. So if you have any mids or high that can hit between -15 and on, you can punish her. Now, she can preemptively see that you're blocking and then go for a special, but that's a risk, and likely they're not going to be taking those risks. And you're going to see a lot of earlier Mileena do something like this to try to cover for the flawless block. But on that note, any standing 1 will be able to hit. So you don't have to worry about 1-2 into 1+3 ever. If you learn to flawless block this, you don't have to worry about that ever. If you don't flawless block, then you're gonna get hit by that every single time. So flawless blocking that is going to be your main way to deal with 1-2. Getting out of 1-2, her main job is to mix you up with either down 4, standing 1, throws, and what she's aiming for, what a Mileena player is aiming for here, is for you to press a button so that we can either micro duck, we can use our really good mid, which she does have a really good mid. He doesn't have the best range, but he's still a really good 13 frame mid. It's not Johnny level, but oh well, he gets the job done, and it is safe on block. It is, well, except for I think Razzle Dazzle can punish it, but yeah, it is -6. Yeah, it's -6 on block. So those are mainly the main things you got to look at when you're fighting against Mileena. Any questions before I move to some of the mix-up, to some of the higher level stuff? Right now we just covered some surface level Mileena stuff. Everyone knows her side, or at around this distance, she's gonna harass you with them. She's trying to get you to either jump or press a button so we can ball roll punish. Sup, Lil Dre? Sup, Daystar? How y'all doing? Banish in the house. What's good? Anybody has any question on matchup specific before I move on? Okay, excellent.
Mileena. Tremor. Havoc Citadel. Serena.
If you don't know frame data, this is a really good chance to ask questions. But we're gonna basically jump through some of these things. The main thing we're gonna look at is frame data on block and on hit. Rarely ever you're gonna see Mileena do down 3 unless she's trying to low profile or hit maybe Sub-Zero's freezing cambio like on a read. But her down 4 is significantly better. Now, why is her down 4 one of the best moves that she has? First off, it puts you at a perfect range to space out your buttons. So, as you notice, most down 1 at around this range are not going to hit. Mileena, Sub-Zero, they're special. Maybe Ashra's down 3 and whatnot. But what I was talking about with micro spacing and micro timing, it is automatically done by down 4. And let's remember, down 4 again is a 10 frame low that when he hits, I'm a plus 15 in your face. Meaning I can either get 4-4, get another down 4, get a sweep, which is 14 frames. Yes, sweep does jail from down 4, which is crazy to me. But it does. And sweep in itself, we're going to talk about that in a moment. But sweep is plus on block. So Mileena can harass you from down 4, right? Forward 4 if you're still expecting it, and then when you're expecting that, then she can start going for her stand 1 mix and all that, for her throw mix and whatever it is that she wants to do at that point. But it all starts with this move. So being able to deal with down 4 is going to make or break your matchup experience versus Mileena. Again, down 4 puts her at her perfect spot. And you have to figure this out with your own cameo, with your own character. So what you're gonna do is go to playback, reversal. You're going to just down 1, and then you're going to turn the reversal on and have the character blocking. What this is gonna do is it's gonna down 1 reversal. Now, notice down 4 is yes, it is. Oops. Yes, it is -6 on block, which means that you will not be able to counter poke on this. And if you try to take your turn back with a poke and you are not Mileena, Sub, Nitara, or you're not using a poke that's good enough, and you use your down 1, you are going to get punished. And so oftentimes Mileena's gonna space trap with down 4 and go directly into 4-1. And you're gonna question, why did 4-1 just hit me when I just blocked a -6 move? It's because likely your next move is going to whiff. And so generally, most of the space trap Mileena's gonna have is right at the range where standing 1 is whiffing, because that means 4-1 hits. So again, I'll repeat that. If Mileena is within range of 4-1 whiffing, that's a perfect space trap for standing 1 whiffing. That's a perfect space trap for 4-1 to hit. Yes, down 4 and back 4 look very similar. So being able to know, just the only difference is down 4 is faster, and you can see she picks up her leg faster. Back 4 is more like a slower sweep, and it is +2, which means no, it is not your turn. And he makes it so that this 13 frame mid is now an 11 frame mid from perfect distance where your down 1 is going to whiff. In other words, and this is what you have to remember, whether down 4 or forward 4, do not down 1, ever. Likely your down 1 is going to whiff. So what can you do as a character that's playing against Mileena when she's doing this move that you basically can't tell them apart? And even though one of them is negative, you can't down 1 because you're gonna get hit.
Mileena.
What can you do? So let me pick up,
Sector.
for example, Sector,
Tremor.
to give you an example.
Serena.
Sector is a perfect example of a
House.
character that's gonna wanna press right after I do down 4. But what Sector presses is going to be really important. So if I do down 1, and I set this to recording, there we go. So if I do this, notice how she whiffed right there. And it puts me at the perfect range to do a 4-1. This is what I'm talking about. Yes, you want to be able to poke out of this, but if you can down one project, what can you do if it's not down one? Can you then standing one? Can you maybe back three? The problem with those other normals, like for example back three, is her back three is 14 frames. Sector's back three is 14 frames. And so if I do down four and you do a 14 frame back three, I'm going to standing one. Just like that every single time. And that's why it feels like Mileena's always pressing, because, well, you are being put into this section where you're either having to deal with a face trap or you're having to put out a negative button. The best way that you can deal with all of these scenarios is by doing a crouching move that is not punishable on block but still reaches, and most characters have something like that. Or if you have a good mid that's faster than 14 frames. So because again, her standing one is 7 frame, this is -6, meaning there is a 13 frame situation happening here. So 13 frame is gonna trade, less than 13 frame is gonna hit Mileena out of doing standing one. And then of course it's also gonna hit her out of doing down one because it's also 7 frames. So again, we're dealing with a 13 frame situation. Now Sector does have a really good move for that, which is a down 4. So if you're a Sector main, what you want to be doing after blocking that is, after blocking down 4, is a down 4 of your own, because I cannot down 1. Well, I can, it's just gonna trade, and then Sector's down 4 on hit advantage is much more advantageous than Mileena's down 1. So this is a trade in your favor. And then if I try to do standing 1 or 4-1 or space grab you, I'm gonna get hit, and then I gotta eat shit because I'm being hit for whatever button you're using. So again, if you want to be Mileena, you're gonna wanna use either a mid or a low that's 13 frames or less after down 4. So stop trying to guess what it is, stop trying to down 1, because you're gonna get blown up for it. A good Mileena is going to blow you up for trying to down 1 after her down 4. So bit of meta game there. Find out what your mid is, because this is gonna make or break your matchup. Now jumping over, understanding Mileena a bit better, and this is for those of us who want to play Mileena, not play against Mileena. The good thing about Mileena is she gets very consistent damage for very minimal execution. So her combo layout is usually button, jump, 2-2 into air ball roll, dash up, jump 1-2-2, go into your down telekick. And you can get this from just about any hit. Of course, if you want to go for more damage, you can go for more damage. Of course, depending on what cameo you have, you can definitely go for more damage. But the point is, her combo layout is not difficult to learn. It is actually very intuitive once you've seen it a couple of times. So that's one of the biggest strengths that she has. She's going to be able to do a button into anything into ball roll and get good damage for it. Anybody has any matchup specific knowledge before I move to the next bar? Any questions? I play XYZ character. I want to know how I can deal with this. This is going to be the perfect time to do that before we close out breaking down Mileena. On that note, while we wait, Mileena's best move, absolutely the best move, is going to be her ball roll. And the reason for that is because ball roll 1 is the move that people are looking for, because it can bait and punish so many things. and people are always afraid of it. And just the fear of having a move that stops you in the neutral and prevents you from doing certain things is such a strong thing. How can she counter jump after back four or down four is blocked? That's a really good question. The same way she counters any other move that's not a low or a mid that's 13 frames. So going back to wake up reversal, I'm just gonna jump, right? Actually, I'm just gonna jump kick, right? So wake up reversal, jump kick. So if I hit you, we should be able to. Oh wait, what? Now recording. Wait, it should be. Oh, it's because it's gonna take on the buttons. Because if she's just mashing forward one after I'm kicking her in the face, she's not mashing forward one. You're being put into a guessing game between forward one or standing one. Is the part Mo. Forward one is gonna beat any down ones, and once you are used to it and you realize, well, he's doing forward one after being negative, so I have, this many frames to work with. Then you're gonna want to do a mid, and you are forced to do a mid that's 13 frames or less. 13 frames is going to 13 frames is going to trade with me. And sorry, that's going to be 13 frames is going to trade with me if I do standing one. But anything lower than that is going to be able to hit me. So if you have a 12 frame move that's a mid or a low, you're going to be able to hit both the standing one or the forward one. Standing one is going to be the jumps. Standing one is there to be anything that is not a mid that's 12 frames or less. So after down four, I do standing one. That's going to be your jump. That's going to be, again, as we saw, sectors back three. So you, as the defending player, have to do a move that beats forward one and beats standing one, and that's going to be either a low or a mid that's 12 frames or less. That's your job. Mid or a low, look through your character's game plan. Mid, low, or special for that matter. That's 13 frames or less is going to be able to beat both of Mileena's option from down four. Preferably, make sure it is a button that goes into a string if it can, because then you can do it safely. Because at the end of the day, Mileena can block after down four, and you want to make sure you're not taking any unnecessary risk on a read. I hope that makes sense. Now, going into onto this, I get a lot of question about her install. We're gonna break down her install, and this is gonna help some of us understand a little bit on what her options are when she pops this guy out. The very first thing you gotta understand, there's absolutely only one button where she can jail from install, and that is forward three. The problem is forward three is a high. So you can just go in neutral and do this. She's got to do it off of a safe jump into forward three. She's got to do it off of a block string from a cameo into forward three. Or she's got to do it off of a hit, right? So I am, it's a 13 frame, so from down four, go figure, really enhances her whole moveless into forward three. From standing two, standing one on hit, it also will jail into forward three. So yeah, or she could do it on a read. You're blocking, she did standing one, you think she's gonna do something else, then three comes up, and now I'm on the install. From the install, again, stand three jails into stand one two, or which is rather stand one or down one. Any 7 frame move, which are only these two, is going to jail. So if I do, if I put the dummy to go into, what is it, whatever else, I'm gonna make them down one or stand one. That's actually no, down one, so they can duck under. Yeah. There we go. So if you're not crispy with this, you're going to get hit just like that. You see, if I do stand 2, if I do forward 2, anything is gonna get hit, but a well-timed standing 1 is always going to jail. And then here's the biggest part. Button into button is always going to jail from her install. So if I have the install on, oop, there it is. If I have the install on, button into button is gonna jail like that, like that, like that. Like that. Like that. Now, special into special or special into button never jails. Ever. There you go. And the other part you gotta understand, she cannot do any crouching buttons on cancel. So even if I try to do like a down 1, she would not be able to. She can do down. She will never be able to do down 1 into those. And if you do special into any other string, you are going to get hit. So your job as the defending person is you gotta react to what she's doing with her buttons. If she's doing button, just block whatever string it is. If you see a special come out and you block it, you can poke right after that. That's your turn. You should now be able to breathe. You should not be able to do something after you block the special. The only place would be, and as you can see, that was the only place, is if she does high side into forward 1. But even that has a gap. So high side forward 1 is gonna be your poke, but it has a gap. And so now you just gotta worry about being able to block low side, and then again, you don't gotta worry about high side either, because there's no mix with high side. No one's gonna do stand 1 into high side. They're probably gonna do standing 1 into low side. So if you manage to block the low side, you can press right after. It is your turn. She cannot back up. She can only cancel this thing into buttons. She cannot cancel it into backing up or anything. She can do string into special or string into button, but she cannot back up from it. She has to commit. So understanding her option from committing is such a big thing. So again, if she's throwing strings out, just block all the strings. And if she throws a special, which is likely going to be low side, then it's your turn to press. I'm trying to do forward 1 after low side. As you can see, doesn't work. I cannot do down 1, so that's not going to work either. Nothing is going to be able to pull me out of here. And I also cannot do any meter burn special. So I cannot go low side. Sorry, I cannot do any armor special. I cannot do any of her dive kick. Only her size, and they don't have armor. Meaning, if I commit to this, I can't even armor. I can only armor from a string button, not from a special. So I can do like this, for example, sure. But who is going to do that? There is no threat to that. You're just going to block. So if I commit to a special, it is your turn, always. That's the balance. It is balanced around you being able to poke after a special. If that special happens to be standing side, standing 4-1 is going to beat you every time, so don't do that. If she is at this distance with the Crazed Arcaton, she's likely going to do low side into high side, or vice versa, and then try to go for button. She cannot cancel special into other special that's not low side, so she cannot ball roll if she did low side from there. Also, she can cancel the buttons on whiff, so she can do something like this, or she can try to mix you up with however she goes about her approach. But regardless of what it is, she will not be able to ball roll, and she will not be able to do any of her dive kick. Um, but yeah, that covers it all for Crazed Arcaton. The other part is actually you can do two cancels in once. You can do one cancel, that's one, and that's a second cancel. You cannot do any more cancel after that on any given string. So one thing players are gonna do, or Mileena players are gonna do, is they're gonna cut a short and then try to refresh, reset their cancel from there. But then at that point, that makes them punishable. So again, keep that in mind. There's only two cancels allowed. Most times they're gonna stagger from standing one or maybe standing two. On that note, I like to do this a lot. Standing 2 is plus 16 on block. Oh, sorry, on hit, which means I'll be able to jail into a standing 1 and go into a mix-up. It's gonna look something like this, right? So if I do this, into standing 2, I am plus 16 there, in your face. And so that means that I can then go into stand 1 low side, rinse and repeat. Stand 1 low side, rinse and repeat. And we can go from there. So just keep that in mind. You get hit during Crazed Arcaton and there's a stand 2 or a stand 1, which is 13 frames on hit. Likely just gonna go for a reset, and that reset is gonna be either stand 1 low side, stand 1-2 low side, or whatever other nonsense she has with any other cameo. But yeah, so far that breaks down Mileena. At the core, she is a bait and punish character that's going to use her oppressive down 4 to try to get you to press at the wrong time. If you press down 1 after down 4 on block, first off on hit you should never press anything, because on hit I'm plus 16, was it? Plus 15, and then I can jail into 4-1. I can jail into sweep. I can jail into another down 4. I can hit you with a double hit in overhead at 19 frames, so you can't even armor out of that. So you should always aim to block down 4. If you get hit, do not press anything. It is not your turn. If you block it, do not press the wrong thing. Use your turn wisely. And the right thing to hit after down 4 is going to be, again, I even did that right there without even trying. I made the down 1 whiff and went for another one. Because again, it's going to make you feel like, wait, why am I not getting to press? Because you're pressing the wrong thing. Again, I am -6 right there. And then I have a 7 frame down 1. And I'm likely going to outspace your down 1. Because this automatically is going to let me outspace you. And then I can go immediately into 401 for a punish. So your options are going to be a 13 frames or less, preferably 12 frames or less so you don't trade, mid or low, that is safe, or special, that is safe. So with that being said, that was the full-on breakdown for Mileena. I hope you guys took something out of value from it. Next week we're going to do the same thing with Garrus. Look forward to that. Thank you for joining. I'm going to leave this video there so we can save it and revisit it later. I appreciate your support. Take care.